When I'm in a bad mood, the type that comes with dull irritation, low energy, and a quiet heaviness that makes everything feel unnecessarily harder, I've found that waiting for it to pass on its own almost never works for me, but forcing happiness doesn't either. What helps is responding intentionally in ways that respect where I am without letting the mood run the day. I'm aware that life gets almost every one of us in this mood at some point, and that not every one of us knows how to handle it. So I decided to share a run through of the things I've done over time that has helped lighten my mood. The first thing I do is to admit to myself that I'm not in a great place. Not in a catastrophic way, just an honest one. I stop pretending I'm fine or trying to perform fineness or productivity. I'll say it plainly in my head, I'm in a bad mood right now. That alone reduces the tension. When I stop fighting the feeling, it loses some of its edge, and I notice I move through the rest of the day with a little more patience and compassion for myself after. Then I change something physical before trying to change how I think. On days like that, my thoughts are usually too messy to reason with, so I stand up, stretch, take a short walk, wash my face with cold water, or clean one visible surface around me. Movement does not magically make me happy, but it interrupts the stagnation. My body wakes up first, and my mood tends to follow. I also make sure to complete one small task, something with a clear start and finish. Not a big task, not something that requires motivation. It might be responding to one message I've been avoiding, making tea, or organizing my bag. Finishing that one thing reminds me that I'm not as stuck as I feel. Also, sometimes the problem isn't my mood, it is my surroundings. If I stay in the same place where I've been scrolling, thinking, or sulking, the feelings linger. So I'll open the windows, let light in, step outside for a few minutes, or move to another room. There is something about fresh air or a change of scenery that loosens the mental grip of a bad mood. I've also stopped interrogating my feelings in the middle of them. When I try to analyze why I feel off while I'm still emotional, I usually make it worse. Instead, I let the feeling exist without demanding an explanation. I tell myself I can reflect later when I'm calmer. Most times, the mood passes before it even gets to that point. Another thing that helps is paying attention to how I talk to myself. When I'm in a bad mood, my inner voice tends to become sharp and impatient. I've learned to soften it deliberately. I speak to myself the same way I would to someone I care about. No rushing, no shaming, no dramatic conclusions. That shift alone makes the day feel more manageable. I also lean into familiarity. There are certain songs, scriptures, routines, or even shows that feel emotionally safe to me. So I return to them on off days, not because they distract me, but because they stabilize me. They remind me that not everything is uncertain or heavy, even if my emotions feel that way in the moment. What also genuinely changed everything for me was stopping the urgency to feel better quickly. The more I rush myself out of a bad mood, the longer it tends to stay. So when I allow myself to move slower, lower my expectations for the day, and meet the mood with kindness instead of resistance, it usually fades on its own. I've come to understand that bad moods are not interruptions to my life, they are part of it. They don't mean I'm ungrateful, failing, or doing something wrong. They are simply signals asking for attention, care, or rest. And the moment I stop treating them like enemies, they stop overstaying their welcome. Happiness for me is not about constant brightness. It is about knowing how to sit with the dim moment without losing myself in them. When I respond with intention instead of panic, kindness instead of force, I almost always find that joy finds me again, usually sooner than I expect.